Sailing in my brand new ship across the ocean blue, gliding across the waters with the wind so true. I want to be a sailor, what do you say to that? I bought a sailor sailboat sail and a sailor hat. I have a pair of sailor boots, I have a sailor coat, I have a sailor necktie, I have a sailor boat. On its maiden voyage, as I'm sure you know, with my final last line, I christen the Ivanhoe. I christen you Ivanhoe.
Now drop it, yeah.
First time I met the owner of Ivanhoe, the 7622, was a number of years ago when he came in the office and showed interest in one of our motor sailors. Came in after several meetings. Taki had made an agreement on hull number 5 of the motor sailor series. We proceeded to build that boat, and after about a year build cycle, the boat was shipped into San Diego. When the boat arrived, it was on the deck of the ship, and the longshoreman had lifted the boat with 2 different cranes, one in the bow section, one in the stern section. Unfortunately, the cranes had a mishap, the operators or the mechanical side, kind of unknown still at this time. Unfortunately, the boat slipped out and fell and hit the side of the ship and then hit the water and ultimately sank.
First motor sailor I had bought, the longshoreman in Long Beach or San Diego dropped it and broke it. Nordhavn gave me a boat to use for 10 months while he rebuilt a brand new boat for me.
The solution of him taking another 56 motor sailor that was already at our docks, using it for a year while we rebuilt the number 5 boat, or the boat that Taki had originally ordered. And after the new boat was finished and arrived back in Dana Point, he came back and took possession of that boat and continued his cruising. That boat's name was Adam Marie. Extensively cruised that boat, went down through the canal and up to, I believe, as far as Maine and Newfoundland, up on the east coast there. So successfully cruising that boat many thousands of hours. Decided that a bigger boat was in the works.
And then as I got older, I decided I was too old to climb the mast anymore, so I went back to Nordhavn and Eric Leishman, and together with their staff, we designed this 76, which is a little different than most. It's a wide body, has a 3-stateroom configuration downstairs to accommodate my family if they all want to come to the boat.
His family was growing, grandkids, and family was just expanding, so he needed more, essentially, beds in a boat. And came to an agreement on 7622, an aft pilot house boat, which is now called the Ivanhoe. And we departed out of West Palm Beach early in the morning, heading out toward the west end of the Bahamas. Had a number of people aboard: Taki, his family, his daughter, his son-in-law, and grandkids. Gail, myself, Doug Harlow, Garrett Severen, the project manager. And then we had Stuart Miller from Performance Marine. Stuart installed all the electronics at the yard and finalized everything there at the docks in West Palm Beach. Stuart came along. He was tuning autopilots, radars, chart plotters, everything that goes into kind of final sea trials and a delivery trip like this. Garrett was busy checking the boat systems, and Taki was looking over Stuart's shoulder and learning about the boat with Garrett. Garrett knows the boat kind of better than anybody, so it was valuable to have him aboard.
Well, there were several reasons for me to go on this trip. The first reason would be to show Taki, the owner, different systems on the boat, how they work. He had quite a bit of experience with Nordhavns in the past, so he didn't need too much training in this department. But every Nordhavn is set up differently, so I think this was a helpful trip for me to be a part of. Second reason was also this is a good learning experience for myself. We build these boats, but you really get to learn about them when you go out on them and in real life experiences.
and proceeded out to a place called Chub Cay and overnighted in Chub Cay, waiting on a little bit of weather, and ran about 24 hours or so. It's kind of a natural stopping point, kind of let the kids and everybody aboard kind of get their sea legs. Yeah, pretty interesting to run that boat, especially coming through Nassau and headed down towards the Yellow Bank and then ultimately to Big Major Spot, points where we're running along in 15 feet of water and less. But really beautiful running along and feel like you're kind of floating on a cloud, seeing the bottom and seaweed, the different things going by, but the water just being crystal clear and white sand bottom is something I haven't experienced in the past. It's nice to get on these trips. Really enjoyed it, and getting on these boats in a real life environment. We build them from start to finish, but we don't always get to get on them and go out and use them. So it was a real nice experience to be able to talk to his family and the project manager and go out and do some of the buyer orientation and training and going through the systems, and really enjoyed the trip.